Oh, fucking. Don't know what I'm gonna take today. My God, I need new gloves. Well, that's out of the question. So, eeny, meeny, miny. Well, I guess this is a good time to talk about how I got into bikes. And it started back in about 2016. This is about 4 years ago, somewhere around there, I don't know. The way I got into bikes was, I was a couple of years out of high school and I had started my first job over at Ingles. Oh boy, that was a lot of fun. Retail is something I don't think I'm ever gonna do again. I'm surprised I didn't get fired for the way I kind of talked to some customers. I don't like being disrespected, and anyways, I was working at my incredible job at Ingles, working in the office, counting money, and I'd had a lot of free time while I was up there, and it gave me an opportunity to start looking into cars. Not a lot of my friends were into cars, definitely no one in my family particularly, besides about one other person. But back in 2017, it was around the time I started getting interested in cars. And I was living in a crappy old apartment for about 500 bucks or so. And had nowhere to keep a car besides the Honda Prelude I was driving at the time. That's another story. While I worked there was around the time I started to find my fondness for cars. And oh boy, I had not enough money for a project car, not even close. And I definitely had nowhere to store one. So in my long hunt on YouTube, watching a bunch of videos, my knowledge and my interest in motorcycles growing, I started to come across motorcycles instead. And again, absolutely no one in my family was interested in bikes. Never even brought them up in conversation because I'm assuming they didn't like them. They still don't like them. They're at the point where they're dealing with it. Well, my interest in cars and watching a bunch of channels on YouTube, I wanted to get into something, get some kind of hobby. So I came across a couple of other channels. Most of them were related to motorcycles. Oh, what is this guy doing? Lo and behold, my interest in motorcycles substantially grew within about a year. I had enough for at least a motorcycle. I had it somewhere I could store them because they're relatively small. And then saved up about 2,000 bucks, went out and way overpaid for a 2006 Ninja 650. I had no clue what I was looking for. Almost everything needed to be replaced on that. I kept that thing for about, I don't know, a year or so, while I continued to switch to my current job. And I continued to commute and work on that thing for a long time until I was able to get my license on it. And I am, for one, very happy I actually started on that Ninja 650 because they always say you're going to drop your first bike. I did, but it was in grass, so thank God nothing actually got damaged on it, and it was probably going 5 miles an hour. So I had this bike for a while, came across some friends at work who eventually came and joined after me, and they were all interested in bikes after I started to get one. Some of them already had some previously and proceeded to go out and buy some more bikes. One of my friends ended up going out buying a 2009 R6, and the other one had a FZ06, and that thing was straight piped and you could not even ride near it. But eventually I saved up a little bit of extra money, started looking into the bikes I kind of actually wanted, which were the super sports. After that, I've had this thing kind of ever since. But we went around, rode these bikes around for about a year or so. I've continued to keep my 600 ever since then. But I've also had a 1995 Suzuki Intruder, and that thing was more or less an absolute train wreck. Bought that, sold it. Starting from the 650 to the 600 that was such a jump for me. I didn't it was really unnerving, and I was actually kind of scared of the power for the first 2 months. And having started on something a little bit slower, it allowed me to have a chance to get used to the mechanics, I guess, of riding. And even after 2 years, I'm still absolutely fine with the power that this bike gives me. Still wanna upgrade to a ZX10, but I am in no means in a rush for it. Anyways, still kind of an all over the place, not planned for at all video. I'll try and make something more organized next time, but I guess that'll be it for today. Alright, peace.